for some of the best things that make our animal center
celebrating 30 years on the air on WROI.
Yeah, you do a wonderful job.
I like
that.
Yeah. Hosts may have changed, but the program is still
sorry about that. We'll make that better. Well, better's a tough word. We'll make it great.
Yeah.
Streaming on the First Federal Facebook page and on WROI. It's time for the First Federal program.
Yes, indeed, it is time for the First Federal program here on a Friday morning. And you know what? I'm going to say it is a beautiful Friday morning because every morning is beautiful.
It's always beautiful. We can sit here and talk and celebrate life and great things like the Fulton County Animal Adoption and Education Center, which we'll be doing later with Janet Showley.
Yes.
Great morning.
Yes.
Kind of the movie Groundhog's Day. You know, Groundhog's Day is coming up in a week or so. Kind of feels like that. We've got cold, ice, rain and fog, and then rain and fog, and then rain and fog.
Yes.
Even though it's another week away, I'm ready for Groundhog's Day to change.
Let's hope it does.
Looks like some moderate temps over the weekend, so no more cold snow and ice, at least in the near future.
Right. I saw something about maybe hitting the 50s by next weekend.
Maybe that will cleanse out the rain and fog, too.
Let's hope.
So, we've got Janet Showley with us today, the Executive Director of the Fulton County Animal Adoption and Education Center. I'm better at the name than when we did this a few years ago. It flows better. That name is really important, Janet. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Because it does define exactly what you do. It's more than just a shelter, you know? And we'll talk more about that.
Sounds good.
I did pull out some interesting numbers just trying to get it ready for today. I read something that, this is from a source basically saying that approximately 85 million families are pet owners.
Wow.
It's a lot of families, you know. Then also, it said in 2020, this came from Petpedia, that people spent $99 billion on their pets.
Yeah.
That's with a B.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
Yeah, pet industry is huge.
Yeah. So, we're talking a lot about that today with Janet Showley. We also have a trivia question related to Janet's visit today.
All right.
According to Forbes, in 2024, what's the most popular dog breed in the United States?
Ooh.
I think we may have had this question in some form before, but...
Yeah.
A, Labrador Retriever, B, Bulldog, C, Corgi, D, French Bulldog. Of course, Janet will ask you to play along with you. I bet you know the answer, don't you? Okay.
Okay.
There have been some changes with this title recently, too. I mean,
yeah.
I won't say any more to give you any hints. Get back with your memory bank enough to
Yeah, I got to go way back there for that one, and I probably won't remember it properly.
We'll give you a chance to think about it, and maybe you inadvertently disclose it as we're talking.
Well, of course.
Well, welcome Canada with Sports now.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's a fun time to be a sports fan, like it always is, but that time of the year, the NFL's down to 4 teams left, so this time next week we'll know who's playing in the Super Bowl. And on the AFC side, which is the first game on Sunday, which is at 3 o'clock on CBS, we have the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs traveling to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. The Ravens are 3.5-point favorites in that game. Should be a pretty good game, I think.
After you talk about the next game, I was going to ask you, who are you picking for the game?
Okay. And then on the flip side, in the NFC, it's Sunday at 6:30 on Fox. You have the Detroit Lions, who are in the NFC Championship for the first time since 1991.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Really cool story. Traveling to San Francisco to take on the San Francisco 49ers, who are 7-point favorites. I'll be rooting for the Ravens and the Lions, but I'm picking the opposite teams. I'm picking the Chiefs and the 49ers, which would be a rematch of the Super Bowl we had in 2020, right before the pandemic started.
Yeah. Denver faithfulness is probably just squirming.
I can't stand even picking the Chiefs myself for multiple reasons, especially being a Broncos fan, but I don't know. Patrick Mahomes just finds a way to get it done.
He's just really good.
He's very good.
What I've noticed just watching the games this past weekend is these are really good quarterbacks.
He's very good.
That's what it takes.
It does, and that's why anymore, if you have a high draft pick and if you're in someone need of a quarterback, you almost have to take a chance. Just because, well, if you take a chance and you blow it, you try again 3 or 4 years down the line. It's worth the risk anymore.
And the 49ers are not like they're a dynasty, but they kind of are because they're pretty much year in and year out. They're really close, if not there.
Yes, they've made 2 Super Bowls in the last a little over a decade. Lost them both, but they were good games against the Ravens and the Chiefs. So against the two teams remaining in the AFC. But they're constantly good. They're coached well by Kyle Shanahan, good GM and John Lynch, and they've structured a really good roster. So they'll be tough to beat for the Lions, but I think all of America aside, 49er fans will probably be pulling for Detroit.
I think you're right.
And it's neat, Jared Goff, the quarterback for the Lions, he grew up a 49ers fan, growing up in that part of California.
Okay.
But he even said in his press conference the other day, when I played for the Rams, my Niner fandom went away pretty quickly.
So he probably has no 49ers gear in his closet.
I doubt it. I think that's a safe bet to say. So,
Yeah.
But both games should be good. And then next week they'll have the week off because the flag football, Pro Bowl, whatever you want to call it anymore, that they do with that's going on. And then the Super Bowl the following weekend. So, college basketball, it's hard to believe we're almost at the end of January. The conference races are really heating up all over the country. Got all 4 big in-state schools in action this weekend. Starting with tomorrow at noon, Notre Dame hosts Boston College. That game's at, like I said, at noon on ESPNU. Notre Dame's 7-12. Boston College is 11-8. These teams played 2 weeks ago. Boston College beat them in overtime when that game was at Boston College. So that should be a good one. Both Butler and Indiana both play at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Butler is on Fox Sports 1 when they host Villanova.
And they're at home at Hinkle.
At Hinkle,
I think
yes.
you can actually still get tickets to it.
Oh, yeah, which is kind of rare, it seems like, at Hinkle. So take advantage because Butler's playing some pretty good basketball. They're 13-7. Villanova's 11-8. Still good program, maybe not what they once were a few years ago under Jay Wright. And then Indiana has had the week off to prepare for Illinois. Indiana's 12-7. They travel to number 10. Illinois is 14-5. That game's at 3 o'clock on Fox, and Illinois is coming off a road overtime loss to in-state rival Northwestern earlier this week.
No comments. It's just been embarrassing. You can move on.
All right. And then Purdue's on a little hot streak right now, but they travel on Sunday to play Rutgers, who's 10-8. Purdue's 18-2. That game's at 1 o'clock on Fox. And Rutgers has been a house of horrors for Purdue.
Like
so
3 of the last 4?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We
So
lost there,
hopefully it'll be a different story this time, but you gotta play well to win on the road, especially in the Big Ten this year. So it's gonna be an interesting race to follow. Got some tidbits here this morning, Paul.
All right.
On this day in 1954, the groundbreaking began for Disneyland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's, of course, the one in California. Disney
Yeah.
World is in Florida and came out a date later.
Yes.
On this day in 1979, The Dukes of Hazzard premiered on CBS.
Yeah. Good show.
You a fan of that? Just watch reruns?
I've watched the reruns. I never mind watching it.
Did you watch the movie they came out with? I want to say like
Yeah.
04, 05-ish.
Yeah.
The remake.
Jessica Simpson.
Jessica Simpson, yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't a big fan of that one.
And Johnny Knoxville, I think, was in it
Yes.
too. Yeah, yeah. I saw that, but I haven't seen much of the original series, so maybe I should sometime.
You should.
On this day, I'm sure this hits home with a lot of sports fans around this area. On this day in 1986, Super Bowl 20 took place in the Louisiana Superdome. It saw the Bears defeat the Patriots 46-10. MVP was Richard Dent, defensive end for the Bears, and that defense is still arguably known as the best defense of all time.
Longtime Bears fan, still a great game, but I had a little bitterness about that game still because Peyton not getting a touchdown.
They should have let Walter score. They let the
Fridge.
Fridge score,
Yeah.
which was cool, but yeah. And I know Mike Dick has talked about it since. Looking back, he wishes he could go back and change that a little bit. On this day in 2003, American late night talk show Jimmy Kimmel Live debuted on ABC.
Okay.
Still going strong to this day,
Yeah.
which is pretty rare because it seems like a lot of late shows have changed networks or changed hosts since then. So
Yeah.
he's been pretty steady.
Yes.
And on this day in 2020, it's hard to believe it's been 40 years ago already, Kobe Bryant passed away in a
Man.
helicopter accident, which I still remember right where I was when I saw that come across
Yeah.
the bottom line. I was watching, I think it was an Ohio State game, and they actually brought it up. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had just flipped the news on that morning and it just popped right up.
It was-
the first story.
one of those things you saw and you're like, oh, that can't be true. You're
Yeah.
just kind of in shock. I mean,
Yep.
I remember growing up with him more than I do Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, I mean, I saw him retire twice, I guess, but I mean, Kobe was, for a lot of people around my age, our Michael Jordan growing up.
Yeah.
So it really was a terrible day. I got some national days today. Today's National Peanut Brittle Day. You a fan of peanut brittle?
Yeah.
I haven't had it for a while, but
I know.
I like it.
It's been that way for me too.
It's also a Dundee Day, Australia Day,
Okay.
National Have Fun at Work Day. That's something we always try to do.
We're all
Try
for
to
that.
do that
Have fun at
daily.
work.
I think we all do that
Yeah.
daily here in this room.
And that's even one of our core values at First Federal, so we really try to have fun every day. National Preschool Health and Fitness Day, Indian Republic Day, National Green Juice Day. Partaking in that today?
No.
No? All right.
I don't know that I've ever had green juice.
Yeah,
No. I'll have something that's green today, but it won't be green juice.
And it's National Spouses Day.
Hey,
So
that's
it's made to
important.
celebrate our spouses.
Yes.
Yeah.
We should remember that every 1 year, right?
Every day's a good day to do that, right?
Right answer, Ken. Good job, just getting
Good job,
good.
man.
Thanks.
A plus.
Yeah. So those are the days today. So
All
fun
right.
way to celebrate a couple.
Yeah.
We have some flowers to share this year. I mean, there's an announcement came out about the Salvation Army bell ringers recently, and
Yes.
over $28,000 was raised, and that's pretty phenomenal. And thank you to our generous community for that. And I know they disperse funds for emergency needs with Salvation Army and United Ministries. So, and I saw United Ministries is opening up their doors again to disperse funds for people that need it for light, heat, rent, things like that.
Yep.
So that's great.
Great number there.
Money news. The Dow finished up yesterday, 242 points for over 38,000 points. They attribute that pretty much to the gross domestic product, which posted a higher than expected growth rate of 3.3%. And that's always a good thing to look at the economy to see how we're doing. And the gross domestic product going up is always a good thing. So hopefully that brings in some good things for the economy overall. But also I saw that the personal consumption expenditures price index raised again at 2%. But that doesn't really mean much to me when they exclude food and energy.
Right.
Because that's kind of like liars lie and figures lie and whatever I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I know what you're trying to say too. I can't think of it off the top of my
It's
head.
like if you're talking about inflation, not including food and energy, you're leaving out the biggest part of it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the money news. Also, Netflix had some news this week. They beat numbers considerably of what they expected to, and they had 13.1 million new paid subscribers, which is kind of unusual in that industry because everybody else is losing subscribers. So that pretty much puts Netflix as leading the industry in streaming services.
And they're going to, starting next year, start dipping their toe more into some live programming as well. So
Yes.
Do they do live sports?
they're going to start doing some more. They've experimented with a few things.
Okay.
They had a event with, I think it was Formula One and a few professional golfers a few months ago, and it went over pretty well.
I know one of the days off during the holiday we were looking at what streaming services are we subscribed to, and
Right.
how much are we paying.
Oh, yes.
It's
Mhm.
kind of interesting how it sneaks up on you.
Oh, it definitely
How-
does.
Like, I thought that was like one of them was double what I thought we were paying. So
They like to raise the prices a little bit. You gotta.
Yeah, and they'll just send out those emails that say, hey, just letting you know that
Yeah.
there's change coming.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll send out 3 or 4 of them, but only one of them will have that price increase.
Yeah.
and when you see those emails, I kind of just skip over it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
So we did some rearranging to try to lower our monthly expenses for our
That's a
streaming
good idea.
services, but
Mhm.
it's amazing how much probably all of us pay for internet, TV, streaming services.
Yep.
So enough of that. How about some more good news?
All right.
So looking at the bank today, we are open again, 8:30 to 5 as usual on Friday, 8:30 to noon. You can always bank with us anytime through our ATM, through our mobile banking apps. We're always there for you. We have a new CD special coming out. Well, it's already out actually. Our winter special.
Yes.
If you check our external display, you can see the sign out there with the snow background.
Mhm.
It's an 8-month special at 4.99% APY. That's still a great rate for 8 months. So if you have some extra funds lying around and looking to earn more money, at 4.99%. You know, if you look at that over an 8-month term, that's a great rate. So, if you have any questions or need to know more information, contact us at the bank. We'd be happy to help you. Also, we have some loan specials continuing with our closed-end second mortgage special going on, with rates as low as 8.5%, 8.864% annual percentage rate. So that's good for consolidating debt, home improvements, some other things that you might want to do. Because if you have a lower rate from refinancing over the previous few years, you don't want to probably refinance that rate from 3 or 4%. But if you have some needs, you can get a second mortgage, and usually it has a shorter term. So if you have any questions and want to know more information, you can talk to any of our mortgage loan originators, especially Stacy Wilson, Ben Dalton here in Rochester. Reach out to them, and they'd be happy to help you out. I was just looking at our notes here, Tanner. I think you forgot to bring something today.
I did, and I blame Paul too for forgetting to remind me. So
it's for a free gift.
Oops.
Yeah.
Next week.
So if you open a Simply Free checking account, a Simply Free business checking account, you get a free gift. And what is a free gift?
It's a sound machine.
Okay.
So yeah, it's got quite a few different variety of sounds. So it was tested out by our CEO and president Evan Gottschalk, and he was a big fan of it. So we went
that's like the white noise and blue noise and green noise.
I definitely know it has a bird sound on there.
Okay.
Because I've heard that one on there, but yeah, it has like a variety of different sounds and
it's like no barking dogs from the animal shelter.
Yeah, I think that would work there.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun to mess with.
How loud is it?
It can be pretty loud, so but yeah, it's a pretty neat device. Need to use it for multi-use, but a lot of people like to use it to try to help them go to sleep.
All right.
So all you need to do is open a Simply Free checking account or Simply Free business account, or refer a friend. And you can always use Paul's name, as we talked about before.
Absolutely, I would love to have a sound machine.
We also have financial services. We talked about that with Mark Blubaugh and Brian Bell. Brian Bell was a guest a couple of weeks ago. If you have any needs about planning for retirement or Medicare insurance and other things like that, we'd be happy to help you out. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're the only locally owned bank in Fulton County. We don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best. And borrowers must meet underwriting guidelines. We are FDIC insured and an equal housing lender, and our MLS number is 399927.
And that makes us legal.
Welcome, Janet. We're glad you're on the show today.
Thanks for having
You've
me.
been kind of one of my favorite guests over the years.
Oh, thank
you do lots of great work at the Fulton County Animal Adoption and Education Center.
Yeah, good job.
I could do that better now. I struggled with that a couple
See,
of
the
years
more I'm
ago.
here, the more practice you get.
You have a great history with the Animal Adoption Center, Education Center. Why don't you give us a little walk down memory lane of how long you've been here and what brought you here?
Yeah, so this is, February is year 8.
Year 8,
8
wow.
years. Yeah, man, it's flown by.
Does it seem like 8 years?
No.
No, I mean,
No. People, I bring up dates and so, like when our new building, and I was like, that was like a couple years ago, right? Like, no, Janet, that was like 4 or 5 years ago.
I remember when we first met, I was in Fulton County Leadership Academy, and they have people like yourself come in from the community and talked about all the good things that are happening behind the scenes with nonprofits, and I was really impressed with all the work you do, and you usually present lots of numbers, so I'm sure we're going to talk about this.
Yeah, I like
again.
numbers, yes.
But thank you for all you do for the community, and we're blessed with a great center like that for a community our size is really unusual.
Yeah, appreciate that. So I always like to come in January because I can kind of give an overview of how the previous year went. Some people find numbers boring, but I think it's very important for animal welfare and seeing where we've been and where we're going. So I'm not going to say all of our numbers because that would take quite a while, but if anybody's interested, we do have them on our website, 10 years of data. So
awesome.
It's interesting. So I will
you kind of
say,
see some trends in there, how things have.
Yeah.
A lot of areas have improved that you've worked really hard on.
Yeah, when you start new programs and you see different shifts and numbers, it is interesting. So last year, 2023, we did hit over 1,000 animals into our shelter. So last time we saw over 1,000 animals was in 2019, so pre-COVID.
1,000 animals, I just can't fathom that number.
Yeah.
For a community our size,
Yes. We do take in a lot of animals. We work very hard to make sure they don't stay very long. We get them fixed and vaccinated up for adoption and placed in homes quickly. Length of stay is something we've been tracking lately too, which I will get
Okay.
to as well. But
I'll keep interrupting you.
Oh,
You
no.
talk about your numbers.
so for cats, we did get an overall increase in intakes. We had 672 cats come in last year. The year before that, in 2022, is 648. So a slight increase. Dogs, very slight increase, 336 versus 325 in 2022. But overall, pretty similar in all categories. This was our best year yet for cat adoptions. We had 534 cats placed into homes. Last year was previously our best year, which was 486. So 50 more cats from last year.
So that's a great percentage. I mean,
Yeah.
success rate, basically.
Yeah, we've been working really hard in that regard. We have our off-site adoption location at PetSmart in Warsaw, and we also added the J&K Mega Pet in Wabash.
Okay.
So multiple places to adopt cats from. So that does help. Our save rate, the number of animals that are saved, has also been steady for cats and dogs. So we're at 94.6% save rate for cats and 97.3% save rate for dogs.
That's a good thing to know about, because most of the time when people think about animal shelters, they think about the negative side of that. But you work really hard on that save rate.
Yes.
And you probably go to local associations and things like that.
Yeah,
You've got to be doing well compared to with other.
Yeah, we really are. Compared to some other local shelters around the area, our save rate is one of the best. I mean, we are considered a no-kill facility, so that doesn't mean we never euthanize. I mean, there are instances where dogs are not safe to rehome for whatever behavior reasons they've had past, or we get medical cases where they just can't be saved. So we do euthanize, but we have over 90% save rate, which means we are no-kill.
But that's part of your passion too, is making sure that save rate is really high.
Yes.
And placing dogs and cats in the community.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Length of stay. So we've had a slight increase in length of stay, but pretty average. In 2022 for cats it was 33 days, and then last year it was 36 days. For dogs in 22 it was 20 days, and last year it was 22 days. So cats stay a little bit longer than dogs do, but overall, a month or less.
That's really good. I mean, that seems like good numbers.
Yeah, very proud of
Because I mean,
those.
you have a great facility, but also your space is somewhat limited too.
Yeah, it is. So that's the numbers for 2023. Again, if people are interested and they want to see the full report, we'll have it up on our website this week.
So if one were to think about the Animal Adoption Education Center, which number stands out, basically representing your overall success, do you think? Is it the save rate?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, awfully proud of that.
You should be proud of that. Okay. So you have a lot of things going on. You always plan lots of fun, exciting fundraising events and new programs. What are some of the new programs you're thinking about this year?
We've got our craft show, which is our next fundraiser coming up. I don't know, maybe our 6th year. But it's going to be April 20th. It's always out at the Fulton County Historical Museum. It's from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. At this point, we're in our planning stages, so if anybody is a crafter and wants a booth, you can email me or message us on Facebook and I can give out some information. I'm going to be posting about that on our Facebook page here probably next week.
So you get revenue from booth rentals, and do you get percentage of sales or anything like that? Or just
No, just the booth rentals, and the museum is kind enough to give us their location free of charge.
That's awesome.
So we don't really have much expenses. So.
I know that typically in a year's time you'll have multiple events going on, and this is just kind of the first one to kick off 2024.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a fun one. So we need craft vendors, and we also normally do some food trucks out in the parking lot. The weather is usually decent by end of April. It's just $1 admission to get in, and we usually have about 30 vendors, so it's fun.
That's great. That's a pretty big turnout for vendors, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's a huge variety usually too.
And what are the dates of that again?
April 20th, it's a Saturday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Okay. So put that on your calendars.
And then we always, just to mention, we have our rummage sale in August, so start collecting your things when you start spring cleaning.
And you do a great job of that too. I mean, you'll pretty much take anything.
Yeah, that's our biggest fundraiser. I think last year we made like $7,000.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So save your stuff, bring it to us in August. Those are our 2 upcoming events that I wanted to mention.
So as far as programming, you're always planning some new things. I know you have kind of a unique vaccine clinic.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk about that a little bit?
That's something I'm really passionate about too. Is increasing our access to care for pet owners in our community. There was a study that I found online, and Fulton County is pretty low on access to veterinary care. So that's just depends on the number of veterinarians that are in our community and surrounding counties as well. So it was important to me to provide just basic veterinary care, vaccinations, heartworm testing, flea and tick prevention, all those things that we can provide pretty easily with the veterinarians that we use.
And you provide it at a reasonable cost, too.
Yes, and anybody who's low income or on government assistance gets an additional 15% off their bill.
That's
So,
great.
Yeah.
Because I know, talking with a person that has a dog recently, and she was telling me how much she spends on vaccines. And it's just, we have a local vaccine clinic through the Animal Adoption Center. That, well, some of that's too expensive for people to afford sometimes. And you can help out with that.
Yeah. We still want people to have their full service veterinarian and have a relationship, see them annually in case there was a medical emergency, injury, or illness that we can't help with. But for basic preventative care, we would love for people to come to our vaccine clinic. You don't have to be on government assistance or even be from our county. Anybody's welcome to use it. And we just hired another vet, so we now have 3 rotating vets. So we'll start doing vaccine clinics at least every 2 weeks.
Is that a certain day or a certain calendar day? Or
It's usually on Sundays, various Sundays from 12 to 3, but we're going to start adding some Thursdays as well.
Okay.
So people can schedule their appointment right on our website.
Okay. So there's some specific dates that you have in mind right now? Or?
Our next one is actually this Sunday.
Okay.
And we've got 2 in February as well. Oh, look at you. February 11th and 25th.
Okay, hopefully those dates are right.
They are.
Tanner gave them to me.
Yeah, thanks, Tanner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are both Sunday dates. I think in March we might add a Thursday because some people work on weekends.
Now that's one of the newer programs that you developed and implemented in the last couple of years, right?
Yeah.
And there's been some other programs that you've kind of been groundbreaking on in our community. Why don't you highlight some of those for us?
We always focus on spay neuter, especially of community cats, because that's the population, as I mentioned, of the numbers, sheer numbers of animals coming into our facility is from stray cats. So we want to help people get them spayed and neutered for an affordable price, because as we all know, they get overwhelming quickly. You know, 1 becomes 6, becomes 12. You know, very, very quickly. So we always try to offer low-cost spay neuter for community cats, and we promote a low-cost spay neuter transport as well for people who have dogs and own cats.
And I know you have a community program where you look for, and I'm not sure what to call them, homeless cats, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure the terminology, but
Community cats or
that's
feral
what you call them,
cats.
feral cats, and where you kind of help gather those and take care of that, so there's no more production of the cat.
Exactly. Yep. So TNR, trap, neuter, return, is
Okay.
the technical term for.
Thank you.
For that.
I was kind of stumbling for what to say
Yeah.
there. So.
Yeah.
You do a lot of great things. You've been in your new center for how many, like 5-6 years now?
Yeah. I think
Doesn't
it
seem
has
so
been.
new, probably, does it?
No, but it's still nice inside.
Well, it's
I think
still very
we have
nice.
one of the nicer shelters in our area. People always come in and comment on how clean it is and how good it smells, and the animals are very well taken care of.
Speaking of that, if anybody has an interest to know what goes on out there, I mean, you welcome people to come in.
Yeah.
And then also you welcome opportunities for volunteers, and you do some fundraising out there too. Why don't you talk about volunteer?
Yeah, if anybody's interested in volunteering, we do have multiple different positions available. We just ask that you stop in, and we can show you the volunteer calendar, where you can sign up for shifts, and there's no commitment. You know, we don't expect you to come in twice a week or anything crazy like that. If you even wanted to come once a month, we welcome that. We've got all sorts of different populations of people that are coming in. We've got students who need hours for school. We've got some community service. We've got even people from the jail coming.
Yeah, I know the JCAP program went out there this
Yeah.
year, and I think they're planning to come again this spring. I think.
Yeah, that's been a great program, great partnership.
So you do great things in the community. Thank you for all you do. As we start to close, anything else you'd like to share about the Animal Adoption Education Center?
I did want to mention that we are going to be changing our hours. to facilitate those vaccine clinics on Thursday, and it just didn't make sense for us to be closed 2 days in a row. So we were originally closed on Sundays and Mondays. We're going to open on Mondays and be closed on Thursdays. So we'll be open Monday 11 to 4, Tuesday 11 to 5, Wednesday 11 to 6, closed Thursday, Friday 11 to 5, and Saturday 11 to 4, and then closed on Sunday. So that'll be effective on March 1st.
And I know the center's very active in social media, so you can always go to your Facebook page.
Yeah.
And if you wonder what the hours are or days are open,
Yeah.
always check it out there.
Mm-hmm.
And you're looking for fundraising opportunities also, so
Yes.
it takes money to run an organization.
Yep,
like
always
this, so-
accepting donations. So we have a list of things we accept on our website, and it doesn't have, you don't have to purchase things. You know, we take things from your home too, like used towels and blankets and cleaning products and paper towels, and so lots and lots of things we can use at the shelter.
Well, thank you, Janet. We're talking with Janet Showley. Thank you for all you do in the community.
Thank you.
You're a great asset and benefit to our community, and thank you.
Thank you so much.
So we'll go to a trivia question. I need to ask this piece of paper back here. The answer is here. Thank you.
I didn't see it.
So, according to Forbes, what is the most popular dog breed in the United States? Labrador Retriever, Bulldog, Corgi, or French Bulldog? Paul?
Well, you know, when we talk about dogs, I know a lot of people used to follow the Queen and everybody had a bunch of corgis. But I don't think that's the case anymore. And I see a lot of talk of it, so I'm going to go French Bulldog.
Right on. I'm sorry I didn't give you a chance to ask. You knew that anyway, probably.
Well, no, I always get confused by that answer, that question, because what's popular and what most people own could be two different things.
That is
you
true.
know, what people want to own, it could be the most popular
Right.
thing. So, but French bulldogs are expensive, and they are expensive to maintain too. They have a lot of medical issues. So, awfully cute. But
In the last couple of years, they overtook the Labrador Retriever, which had been in that top spot for many, many years.
that was going to be my guess. I feel like more people still own labs,
Yeah.
but more people may like French.
Congratulations, Paul. Another one right. Put that on the plus side again.
Yeah.
So we'll close with words of wisdom from an unknown source. The bond between owner and pet is like no other. There are companions, always along for the ride, no matter what ups and downs life brings. They show us joy, make us laugh, and even listen to us like they know exactly what we're saying.
Those are great words, wisdom. I really like that. Thank you, Todd, and thank you, Janet. We'll see you guys again next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.